The Hash It Out Show is brought to you by Barreto Home Solutions, Bayou Audio and Video, Hot Works on the North Shore, JFK Martial Arts in Mandeville and Covington, Lil Dizzy's Cafe, The Green Law Firm, personal injury attorney, Olen Parker of Magnolia Wealth Strategies, Moe's Pizza, Lance's AC and Heating, CC's Children Blocks, The Pierre Family in Lafayette, Louisiana, Drums,
Hands up, hands up, hands up. If you winning and you don't give a fuck about a hater, tell them move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area, move. Clear my area. Cause I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm winning, I'm winning, I'm winning.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Hash It Out Show. It's your host, JB the Sports Guy. Glad to be here. Glad to be back. It's a great feeling. I'm feeling very, very excited right now. I miss you guys. We took a break last week, and now we back at it. I'm refreshed, ready to rock and roll. And as you see, I got the one and only VK Jones. What's up, VK? Oh boy, VK. No, VK. No, you're not. You're not working. VK, can you hear me? No, VK, you're not. You're not working, VK. Your internet's stuck in 2023. You, you, you're not working, VK. You're not working. I'm about to try to log out and log back in, VK. You're not working right now, VK. You're not working. But while VK try to get himself together, get it right. Um, all on me, baby. We're gonna start off with Derek Carr. That's what we're gonna talk about Derek Carr retiring. Also, we're gonna have Olen Parker, the head coach of the SUNO Knights, join us. They were in the NAIA tournament for the first time. He's going to join us. We're going to talk about Jakai Anderson, standout wide receiver from McDonough 35, a four-star wide receiver who had verbally committed to LSU but recently flipped to SMU. So we're going to talk about him flipping, and then we'll talk about some upcoming spring games that's happening, and probably quickly mention about the Louisiana High School Baseball State Championships. But we do have VK Jones. What's up, VK?
Yo, what's going on, man? What's going on? Glad to be here. Glad to be back. Like, tag, share, subscribe to the Hash It Out Show. All social media platforms. I'm currently on my way back from this Nunez baseball end of the year awards and everything. It was good to partake in with the people of Nunez and all his coaching staff and the players, and especially the departing sophomores. And I know we're gonna have two of their best players, hopefully, on the Hash It Out Show under Jared's approval soon. And one of them is from your alma mater. You know what I'm saying? So we're definitely gonna have those two
The one
guests on
that's
the show
transferring
soon.
to
But it was
UL,
good to be
that one? Ah,
yes, Jace LaCava and also Dorian Jackson, who LSU Shreveport, who is actually
mm-hmm. Okay. I'm with it.
hello.
I'm with it. Austin Tyler, I didn't rig anything for my Spurs. We got the second pick. It was rigged for the Dallas Mavericks. And all you New Orleans people, New Orleans Pelicans fans, y'all need to stop crying. It was rigged for y'all twice. Twice. So stop crying about the draft being rigged. Let's keep it real. Anthony Davis you got when Chris Paul was traded. Zion you got when Anthony Davis was traded. So stop crying about the Mavs having a rigged draft, being rigged for them. Stop crying. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Nah. My Spurs might trade that second pick just to get Giannis. Nah. What you think about that? But anyway, moving on.
I
You know
knew that
something,
was
huh?
coming. I knew it. I knew it. That's Joe Dumars action. If you want to go big, go home. Go do what you can to get Giannis out of the cupo in New Orleans. And I'm telling you what, the Pelicans gonna be ready.
El Jefe, Popovich, go ahead and get Giannis. Let's do this. Let's do it, baby. Go Spurs, go. Nah.
Of
All
course.
right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Got 18 minutes. Derek Carr retired, man. I was holding my phone in my hand and I got the notification. I couldn't believe what I saw. I did a quick, short YouTube video about it. Man, look, let me tell y'all something right quick. Like everybody in New Orleans saying, man, God is good, right? God is good. Everybody saying, yes, Lord, Derek Carr is gone. But I'm sitting there like, we don't have a veteran quarterback at all on the roster. We don't have a veteran quarterback. We have a third-year player, a second-year player, and a rookie. And they all going to battle it out to be the starter unless the Saints go out and try to get Aaron Rodgers. But let's get back to this Derek Carr retirement right here. I didn't see it coming, but when you think about it, he has the injury. He doesn't want to compete for the starting job. He's upset the Saints drafted a quarterback. He's upset. To me, this was like, Saints, I'm going to show y'all. Saints. I'm retiring. Newsflash, us Saints fans, I think we'd rather have a losing season with what we have than what we had with Derek Carr. To be honest with you, I think we'd rather have that. Because all we had was a mediocre to average quarterback, Derek Carr. That is it. He wanted a contract extension. And they hadn't talked about that yet. So he was mad about that. Tyler Shuck gets drafted. He was mad about that. And sources I have, VK, did you know this? The day after the last game of the regular season, there was a U-Haul truck at Derek Carr's house in New Orleans.
No. Didn't know. I didn't know this.
It was a U-Haul
What?
after the last game of the season at Derek's house. You heard it from me. If Derek Carr
Wow.
wants to go to a church and say that's not true, well, okay. Hey, I'm telling you what my sources told me. That there was a U-Haul truck in front of his house the day after the last game of the season. I think Derek Carr wanted to get out of New Orleans. Period. I think he wanted out. Didn't get his contract extension that he did ask for. That Mickey Loomis probably would have gave to him in due time. But I think he wanted out, man. I really think he wanted out of New Orleans. I think he did not want to be here any much longer. So with all that being said, injury happens. Shuck's here. Oh, I'm going to stick it to the Saints. I'm going to retire. Just like that. I'm retired. Well, you helped us out with the cap, buddy. I appreciate we appreciate that. We appreciate it. But, I mean, what are your thoughts, man, about Derek Carr retiring, man? I mean,
This
I want a veteran for these guys on the roster to help them. I don't know if we get that, but what are your thoughts?
well, when I seen that story on Saturday, the most hilarious story of the weekend. I was dying laughing seeing that story. I'm like, wow, man. Seriously, like we don't need no Derek Carr anyway. And he decides, okay, I quit. Not retire, I quit. I'm sorry. That's somebody quitting on a job and just said, man, forget this, man. I can't do this no more. Just get out of here. You know what? I'm just telling you, this is by far the most quittingest thing I ever seen in my life. And then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, comparing that to what's been going on in the off season and everything. Somebody said this on one of the TV stations. Somebody said, God is good. All we need is Mickey Loomis to be gone next.
Yeah, yeah.
So trust me, this is, thank you, Derek Carr, for giving us money. Thank you. It kind of helps the Saints now. Do we get a veteran? I don't know. And I don't care because the Saints going to be trash anyway. It's just going to be a long 20, 25, 26 season, man. It is going to be long. I'm going to tell you, Aaron Rodgers, please do not waste your time to get Aaron Rodgers. Please don't do it. Just don't do it, man. Please. Just get somebody decent. See what they can do. You know, let's see what they well, plain and simple. Spencer Rattler, you're on the clock. It's your time now. It's your time now to be the man. That's all I gotta say from that. But man, and anybody else who want the NFC South, you can have it. You can have the division. Please take it, because we don't want it. Right now, we just need we got Cole gone. Now we need Loomis, and if we don't get Loomis, we need Gail Benson to set a team. Because I'm telling you, we got to get this. We got to get changes up here, man. Because this ain't gonna look good, and I ain't gonna lie, the ticket sales is gonna flop. So that's just what I think about that, man. This whole thing is hilarious. And all I know, Derek Carr, Gail Benson, Mickey Loomis, y'all can kick rocks.
Look, look. I got a email from the Saints the other day saying my name has popped up for season tickets. Do I want them? I'm gonna I'm gonna stay on
Wow.
that waiting list a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on that waiting list a little bit longer. One day.
He said he don't
Nah, I
want
don't
it.
want it right now. No, 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 no. But look,
He read them
oh yeah,
Tulane
yeah, yeah,
tickets.
yeah, yeah,
He read them too. Or he read the LSU
yeah.
season
Tulane.
tickets. You on
I
that
can get
list?
LSU season tickets if I want to.
No,
Yeah,
I know
LSU
Tulane.
not sold out like the Saints. You can
Hmm.
get lucky and get
I
those,
think
but
that.
nah, I'm gonna stick with Tulane.
I, th- we got to go to the LSU game. Right? We gotta find a way there. That's all I gotta say about that. I'd rather go to LSU game than the Saints. I went to a Saints game. I looked up. A friend of mine had got a ticket, and it was actually Drew Brees' uh, retirement night, the salute night, and everything. Cool, but the Denver Broncos fan base took over the freaking dome. That was the only thing bad about it. Everything else. I had a great time being lucky to attend an NFL game, but at the same time, man, I don't want to waste my time watching this. It's a free ticket. I go there, get a couple drinks, something to eat, have fun. But that's it, man. I'm like, man,
Man,
people ain't about to win. I'll be surprised
went
they
to
win.
LSU. The
So,
last LSU games, no, the last one I went to is when they lost to Florida State in the dome. The block extra point. That was the last one. But before
oh,
that, I actually went to two at Tiger Stadium in the national championship the year LSU won it. I was at those three. But you say no to Aaron
okay.
Rodgers. You say no. I'm kind of on the other side. Like, can we get him maybe for a year or two, and let's see what happens. I know everybody looking at what happened with the Jets. I get it. I get it. I get it. I'm not disagreeing with nobody. I get it. But I do remember Brett Favre with the Jets, and when he left, what happened in Minnesota. I'm just saying, man, maybe there's a chance Aaron Rodgers could come here and work a little bit of some magic. Give this city some hope in this football team. I mean, you got Kamara. You got Olave, Shaheed. You just don't have this big receiver if it's 3rd and 3 who can run a slant and you get the ball to. Unless the Saints say, hey, bring back Michael Thomas. And then we could do that. 3rd and 3, Mike Thomas on a slant. Automatic first down every time, bro. You know it, bro. You know it, VK.
Man, man, I got no hope for this, man.
You
Here's the
know, hope
difference
the
what you
Saints
talking
win
about
9
right now.
games with Aaron
Here's
Rodgers.
the
Come on,
difference,
man.
man. It ain't happening. All I'm gonna tell you, one person's word always say this: Father Time is undefeated.
Did you say that
Father
with
Time
Tom
is
Brady?
undefeated. He ain't got it no more,
Did you say that with Tom Brady?
huh? Tom Brady is the only rare exception you
Mm-hmm.
will ever say. The only rare exception. Um, Rodgers, no, he don't got
Damn,
it no
come
more.
on,
The
Dale.
difference with Brett Favre of what he did in Minnesota, Minnesota had probably the best receiving coach in the NFL and the best offensive line in the NFL,
You about to say,
besides
wait,
the New
better
Orleans
than
Saints
Saints
that
O
season.
line and receivers the
So
Saints had?
I, now you see what I said? One of the best offensive lines in the
Mm-hmm.
NFL besides the Saints. Saints was really good too. They were the top two offensive linemen, offensive lines that year, that Super Bowl year. The Saints was
See, y'all know VK telling falsehood when his connection going bad. You know it ain't true. Connection go bad. Right when we talk about this, yeah, it's telling you wrong again, buddy, old pal. Shoot, that's the football guys telling you Aaron Rodgers is a good choice to come here. And I'm kind of with it. I would like Aaron Rodgers to come here for a year or two, and one of these quarterbacks like Spencer or Shuck can learn from him. But then let's move along. What if the Saints don't do well at all this year with Shuck and Rattler? Oh, we gonna draft Arch Manning next?
hmm. Well, that's interesting in itself. I'm like, they just gotta
Or
figure this thing
or
out.
Coach
Give it, I
Nussmeier's
gotta
son
figure
from LSU?
it. Well, let me tell you, man. What I was saying was the Saints offensive line was number one, Minnesota was number two.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, when you have all that, that really protects a guy like a Brett Favre. That really gives him more of a cover than anything else. You know what I'm saying? But eh, Saints got a long way to go to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? The one thing of progress would have been drafting Shador Sanders. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
one big progress for them, but they didn't do it. They won't go with this guy. This guy that there's a fifth-year starter that think he's proven and he's possibly not. You know what I'm saying? Like goodness
Time will
gracious,
tell.
I'd have took Dylan.
Time will
I could
tell.
have took Dylan Gabriel before him. Just
Time will
being honest.
tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Gotta
Time will tell. But
give him his shot. Give him his chance. Let's keep it real. Let's give him his chance. We may feel that
yeah,
Shador. Yeah, we all feel that way. Like we should draft Shador. Okay, I understand that. But I'm not gonna drop the hammer on Tyler Shuck because the Saints decided to, decided to draft him. I could drop the hammer on the Saints saying you should draft Shador, but Tyler
not just
Shuck
Shador, not
deserves a
just
shot.
not just right, not just Shador, but Jalen Milroe, I think, was still on the board.
Yeah, he was there.
You go pass it, you go pass a couple of those guys up over him. But we'll see. We'll see what this Tyler Shuck can do. Let's see if he can shuck and jive. Is it gonna be shucking and winning, or is it gonna be shucking and jiving? So that's the main thing. You be shucking and winning or shucking and jiving. So I ain't gonna lie, the Arch Manning thing. If he turns out good at Texas, baby, that would be maybe something nice for the Saints down the line. Maybe we'll see. But the Spencer, but I know one thing: Spencer Rattler, it is your time. It is your time. Let's see what he does. Tyler Shuck, if he gets the shot, let's see. But it's going to be a very, long 2025, 2026, man. It's gonna be woo, it's gonna be hilarious every week, man. And I'm a Saints fan, but I'm being a realist, man. I'm telling the truth. Why what hope? When there's no hope, it's nothing.
Hey, I'm just
We
saying.
got to
I'm
it's life,
gonna feel
baby.
like there's some hope we get Aaron Rodgers. I'm gonna feel like there's some hope. I ain't saying playoffs, but
Yeah,
on the
man,
up and up with Aaron
man.
Rodgers. And I need to get him for a year or two.
And
That's all I'm
and
saying.
and if we at the Saints get them, I'm like this, man. We really gonna suck. I'm telling you now.
Man, you don't know
I'm
that,
like this.
man.
If
You don't know
I'm
that.
like this. George Pepper said this before. Like maybe you could. I said, let me tell you something. Can Aaron Rodgers give you a 350-yard game? I think he might give you one. I'd be shocked to give you two, but he ain't gonna give you more than that. So I'm just saying, like, all I know, if things go Kaputski with Rodgers, all I know, you gonna be like, man, BK, you right, dog. You right. I was like, I told you, like, bro, all the time undefeated, bro.
Go out
It's
and get
undefeated.
Aaron Rodgers a big receiver that can catch, a big possession receiver. Because all we got are these freaking small, speedy receivers. We ain't got a big body, man. We need a big body receiver,
That's true.
and we
That
don't
is
have
true.
that at
I
all.
believe that.
We don't. We
That
don't.
is true.
Um, Back to Derek Carr, man. I do wish Derek Carr all the best moving forward. I do. I really do. I know these Saints fans down here didn't care for him, boy. They did not. But I mean, he had an 11-year career, 4-time Pro Bowler with the Raiders. He finished third in the MVP voting one time. I mean, man, I do wish him the best. It didn't work out here in New Orleans for him, but I do wish him the best moving
Yeah,
forward.
I wish him the best too. I wish him the best too. I wish him great, great, great times. I know he has a family, everything. I wish him the best, and enjoy your retirement, quitter. Enjoy your
See, there you
retirement,
go, man.
quitter.
Why you down on that man like
Enjoy
that,
your
man?
retirement.
Why you
No,
doing that, bro?
I'm sorry, bro.
Come
I'm
on,
sorry.
man.
I have never seen. No, I'm sorry, and that's just the straight up truth. That's more of like I understand if you're in a position. And I ain't gonna lie, he is in much a position that okay, that the injury is more of a kind of an injury that could be career ending, possibly. But at the same time, that's more of a backdoor quitting move that I ever seen.
Yeah,
Somebody gonna use leverage
it's a
with injury and
backdoor.
everything else. That's
It's
just
a
what it
backdoor
is,
quitting
man.
move. Yes, it is. It is. It is. Dang, you down it. I ain't
It's
down on
it's
man.
it's it's
I
it's,
ain't
it's,
down on
it's
man.
see. I'm not gonna look. If I ever see David Carr, I'm sorry. If I ever see Derek Carr in person, I'll shake his hand and whatever. I wish him
Why
the
you gonna
best.
shake
You
his
know what I'm
hand?
saying? You're a devout Christian. It's all. You know what I'm saying? It's all cool. I ain't gonna call him a quitter in his face. That'd be wrong of me. I'm not that stupid. I'm not Charles Barkley.
Mm,
Go talk about the
I'm just saying.
fraternities like he did. So no,
He
I
better run
just
from the
know
Q's,
that
boy.
I just see. Huh?
I said he better run
Not
from them
just the
Q dogs.
Q's,
They're
everybody.
gonna be after him.
Not just the Q's. I think all the fraternities. Cause when he ain't just said that about the Q's, he said about everybody. Like people go pledge and lose. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, but he
I'm
said a
like
bunch of losers.
Charles,
I was
dog. Like,
like, whoa.
bruh,
I was like, whoa, too, bro.
bruh.
Like, whoa.
What we doing? I know I ain't a part of no fraternity. I know people that are part of fraternities and sororities, and I get it. I totally get what it is. But bruh, come on, bruh. You got to do better than that, Charles. You got to do better than that. Bruh. You lucky Shaq ain't there. Well, Shaq might feed you the wolves somewhere. If there's a whole bunch of cues. Watch your back.
Mm. Hey, VK, is it George's birthday today?
Yes, I think it is his birthday today. Today or yesterday, one
Boy,
of the two.
boy, they won't even tell us, man. I'm looking at wow. Well, if I was still on Facebook, I would know, but that's a fight in itself still. But anyway, boy, George Pepper's
And they
birthday,
still
boy.
ain't let you, and they ain't let you out. Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm still locked up.
And you been there what, months now?
Been there 3 months. 3 months.
Oh my God. They ain't give you probation or none of that.
Oh,
Hey,
no, a little longer than 3 months. A little longer.
oh
No,
Lord.
3 months. 3 months. 3 months. Yeah, 3 months.
Man,
Locked
free
up,
that man,
won't
bro.
let me out. Won't let
Man,
me out.
what that man did like that, man? Let that man go, man.
I ain't
Give him
do nothing. I
probation or
just
something.
put up a graphic of a game we was streaming, a basketball game we was streaming, and they say I was advertising. Well, I don't know, man. People tripping, man, tripping. But
Freedom of speech.
happy birthday
Goodness.
to our partner George Peppers, man. I guess that's why he's not with
GB.
us. I guess that's why he's not with us tonight.
He's definitely celebrating. So
Yeah.
got to let him celebrate. We're gonna let him breathe tonight. We're gonna let him breathe tonight.
Shit.
Yeah,
He getting written
this
up on
night.
his birthday. He getting written up. He getting written up on his birthday.
Go send it right up in the inbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign this, please.
Sign this. Yep. Yep. He getting written up today. We are waiting for Coach Parker to join us. So waiting on him. Hopefully we get him on soon. But Devin Stibe, T-Wolves versus Knicks, NBA Finals. Well, I mean, look, it's looking real good, bro. Looking real good. And then if Anthony Edwards, think about it, people he's eliminated so far in the playoffs, and then this year for sure with LeBron, and right now probably Steph and them. And then if he gets past, whoever Denver, Oklahoma, it'd be Shea or Jokic, and then gets to the finals and wins it. That's a good list of good superstars he would have eliminated. I don't know who wins that, Devin. Not yet. I don't even know who's in it.
I'm looking at it, and I've been looking a little bit. I'm like this. Anthony Edwards right now is the modern day legend killer. He is the modern day legend killer in the NBA, and he is straight up handling
Yep.
business. And you just gotta love it. The Timberwolves were struggling early. Now they're really getting it together. I mean, what a turnaround! The Knicks, what a turnaround for the New
Man, the
York
Celtics
Knicks.
collapsed,
I'm
man.
really shocked at this.
Celtics
Huh?
collapsed, man. Games 1 and 2.
No,
Games 1
no,
and
no,
2. The
no,
Celtics
no.
collapsed.
Yeah,
You
they
up by
collapsed.
20. You gotta
Yeah,
finish that, bro. They collapsed them first 2 games.
yeah, yeah. They have collapsed, but at the same time, give the Knicks props for coming back. And at the same time, you have to also think Tom Thibodeau is kind of really out coaching Joe Mazzulla. You know what I'm saying? Because something got to be said. Telling them you got to say something to the players about shooting on them
But
threes.
look, I'm gonna
Too
stop you right
many.
there, right quick. We're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we
Yes,
come
sir.
back, Coach Olen Parker, the head coach of the SUNO Knights baseball team, is gonna join us right here on the Hash It Out Show.
Are you in need of a new windshield? Leo Autoglass can help. For 20 years, Leo Autoglass have been servicing the New Orleans area with windshield replacement and auto glass repair. Give them a call today, 504-301-8353.
Hey y'all, this is Jen Hale from Fox Sports. You're watching the Hash It Out Show with JB the Sports Guy, VK Jones, and George Peppis.
Did you experience storm damage from Hurricane Francine? Barretto Home Solutions can help. You can give them a call at 504-940-7552.
Hi, my name is Micah Higgins, head boys basketball coach at Bonneville.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm your host, JB the Sports Guy, joined by VK Jones. Our next guest, he's the head coach of the SUNO Knights. He's in his second year as the head coach, and he got his team to the NAIA baseball tournament for the first time ever. And he's joining us now, the one and only Coach Olen Parker. Coach, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing well, man. Just got done playing and doing well.
Good deal, good deal. Um, You are Suno's first baseball coach ever. The program just got started, and in your second year of being a coach, and you guys went to the NAIA tournament. Did you see this program under your watch excelling this fast already?
Well, um, yeah, I had an inclination that we could do it this fast. I had a year to watch the conference play, and I've had a few JUCO kids that I coach play for Dillard the first year they got their program. So I was not caught off guard to what type of players that you need to win, but I am taken by surprise that we won this fast though.
Yes, sir. How did it feel to be competing in the NAIA tournament for the first time ever for Suno?
It was a great experience. So that sets you back to let you know where your program is when you make a postseason and see what kind of other players are playing in AIA baseball. So now you get to shuffle the deck and know what you need. So when you make the post tournament run again, you can compete a little bit better.
You guys competed in the tournament. The outcome that happened isn't what you wanted, as you guys are now eliminated. But from the overall experience, what did you want your players to take from this moment of competing in the tournament?
Anything's possible. You just got to make the outs when you got to make the outs. You play clean baseball, anything's possible. We happen to be in the region with the number one team in the nation, and I want to let my guys know that those guys didn't get there by luck. Hard work and dedication will get you there. So we played in a pretty tough region, and I'm expecting us to get back and then do it again.
Yes, sir. Before I pass it on to VK Jones, my last question to you, Coach Parker. What does this mean for the Suno baseball program now moving forward after competing in the NAIA tournament?
Well, we set ourselves up, set the bar pretty high, so I don't expect it to be nothing else. And from my high school beginnings, the bar always have been set high in my life. So we're gonna take it from here, try to take it a step further.
VK.
Coach Parker, man, appreciate you being on the show and everything. Thank you for the invitation to join us, man. And I wanted to, from a purple night to a purple night, I wanted to congratulate you on the year and everything. You know what I'm saying? Year one and year two, amazing work that you have done at Southern University of New Orleans.
Thank you, but just to let you guys know, it wasn't done alone. I have a wonderful staff with wealth of knowledge of the game, and we do a lot of things that we did when I was at La Tech. So the journey's been fun, but it's really refreshing knowing you got guys that can really coach the game and teach these kids like I can.
Yeah, very much agree, man. Very much agree. Wanted to ask you. Let me ask you about your players this season, and tell us a bit about your players that year and has really got this program really catapulted. I know it took a lot, especially maybe a couple of young players that really stepped up for you.
Well, first of all, the seniors, we had Brandon Watson, Damon Latigua, Miles Bowen, and Edmondson. Those guys really bought into what we are trying to teach, and they got the young guys on board to just go through the journey. Also, Enrique Harazo did a wonderful job playing shortstop and pitching, which we all know is not easy. We also brought in Dylan Jimenez, played a wonderful first base, started swinging the bat real good lately, so we excited about getting him back for another year. But it was all around great effort. But the seniors pretty much led the charge.
That's huge right there. That's huge. How it was with the operations this year and everything. Especially it's a good thing that Suno has a dormitory and everything else. The transition from going in and practicing and stuff, and also you.
We lost VK, but he's right back. Coach about to bring him right back in.
All righty.
Yeah, go ahead, VK.
All right, Coach. I was asking you how it is to really now having Wesley Barrows more like your own backyard more than anything else, that playing a lot of your home games there right on the campus and everything else, how you felt, especially from year 1 to 2, having Barrow your own.
Well, that's a selling point. We're all on the lakefront. We have our dorms and classrooms right near. So if guy doesn't have a car, he could get to class, can make it to practice. But we practice at 7 at night. We got to accommodate everything that the academy has going on before we could practice. At first, it was a hindrance, I thought, but once it got at 7 o'clock at night, a guy got all his schooling out the way. He can just focus on practice, and then after that, take it on in and get ready for class. But the transition's been great. I think the kids start buying into it, and we made it work.
That's huge right there. I know you're looking at some good recruits coming in and possible transfers and everything to really set the bar for next season more than anything else. And wanted to ask you about a little bit about the region that you're in. How good is this LSU Shreveport team? Can you give us a little insight on that? Because I know that's something me and Jared is definitely gonna talk about a little more. But they have been really kind of under our radar comparing to you guys, to Loyola, to LSU, LSU Eunice, and everybody else. What you can say about LSU Shreveport?
They're a wonderful team. They have a component of some D1 transfers, and I watched them practice on Monday. They really got a good setup, good system, good coaching, and playing football, and they do everything 100 miles an hour like a championship team's supposed to do. Um, I just can't say enough about them. They're wonderful to watch practice. They play the game the right way, and they're just getting it done right now.
Absolutely. Um, this season it was a lot of transition in the HBCU conference, but not just the fact that you guys getting an at-large bid, but the huge year for Talladega, having over 42 wins on the year, probably maybe the most we have seen for HBCU in a long time. What you can say on not just yourself, but for Talladega, the year they've had, especially in conference play, and for them to have the record they have had.
Yeah, Talladega had a single-led team. Um, those guys were polished. They're a little older than a lot of other teams, but those guys have bought into what their coaches are teaching. And I'm not surprised at all the wins that they have because they're a good team.
Absolutely. Gotta ask you this last question here. Looking at the programs in itself, with your program, Dillard and Xavier, the progress they continue to make more than anything else, especially with Xavier finally playing pretty much in their own field, playing not too far from where their campus is now and everything else. That's a huge transition, especially with the availability of play and everything else. Do you think the growth of these three programs is going to continue to thrive, especially in New Orleans?
Well, I think they should because when I was growing up, none of them had baseball. So, and there were a lot of guys in there that could really play. We all have to venture out and go to schools way away now because of the other states that guys want to play baseball out of. They're mingling through all coming to New Orleans to play. So with three more institutions with baseball, I think it's a wonderful thing, and they're starting to get stronger and stronger. So we'll see what
V.
Most definitely. Coach Parker, we want to congratulate you and your staff and the players on the job you guys have done this season. Congratulations. Thank you for coming on, and hopefully in the future you'll come back on with us and we'll talk some more baseball.
I love you. Anytime, guys. Anytime you need me, I'll be there.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
And that's Coach Olen Parker, the head coach of the SUNO Knights. And like he said, VK, like he said, it's just not him. It's he and the staff that he has in place. And 2 years of baseball at SUNO, and look what he and his staff has done. And the players. Can't forget the players because they got to play. Look what they
Yes,
have done, man. And that is just phenomenal, my gosh. And then first time ever getting an NIA tournament this year, VK.
that is huge for the program, and also you look at the transition that they have made. And it wasn't surprising knowing Coach Parker for a good little while myself, and hearing how he's talking when he was about to take over the program and everything, because he was an assistant at BRCC before he took the job, and when he took it, the vision he talked to me about really started to come out, and everything. And he was like, "There's a possibility we might," because Xavier University for a minute played at Barrow. That was their
Yeah,
home field
it
and
was.
everything. Dillard was trying to transition, but Dillard took a little bit and they had to play a lot of road games in year one.
Yeah,
But at the same time, when Suno came on the scene, they decided, hey, we need to take a little bit of. We was like not knocking nobody else, but this is on our campus, and we
mm-hmm.
need to take advantage of that. So, and at the same time, it was kind of a good thing that Xavier transitioned to wind up playing at I believe it's Scally Rupp now, not too far from the Xavier campus.
Yeah,
And it took a long time to get that finally built together, and they finally got it together. So once they had that done, they just knew that Xavier was gonna just transition out of Barrel and go play their games there. So that is really huge. When I heard this year, especially with Xavier Paul taking over the program, well known. You already know, you ought to know who Xavier Paul is. He's very legendary
yeah,
in this city, and he's the head coach now. Xavier, when he talked with the baseball bash and mentioned that they're playing at the new stadium, that at Scally Rupp, that is really huge for them, because that transition was in the works for years, and for them to do that, that helps Xavier, that helps Suno tremendously, and I think Suno shares a little bit with Dillard as well. But for Suno to really have that advantage of playing at Barrow right on their campus and their dorms. Remember, I started at Suno in '97, and there were no dorms.
that man's
Never
old.
been. Yeah, I am. I am. I am. But at the time, there were no dorms for a long, long time in Suno. The dorms came after Hurricane Katrina. When they
Mm-hmm.
got the FEMA money and everything, when they try to rebuild the school and all that,
Yeah,
they decided to add a dormitory, which was really, really huge. And I'm like, hey, now you're going to bring in a lot more, not just students from the city, but a lot more students from across the country to come here. And then when they brought back athletics, that was really huge because athletics was gone for a minute, but they brought it back. Then transition to try to bring softball to Suno, and then transition also to bring, I believe they're trying to bring track back. So, and track was a huge sport for
yeah,
Suno.
yeah.
So they're trying to bring that back as well. But for now, you got the selling point of the campus, the dormitory, and all that stuff, and now the baseball stadium right there. You got that and your basketball gym. The castle has been there a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the facilities that have been all redone, refurbished.
Right.
It's really unbelievable what Suno has, and this is a lot of momentum going forward for them.
I totally agree with you. Everybody, we're gonna take this quick commercial break. And when we come back,
Uh-oh.
we're going to talk about big time wide receiver prospect, college prospect, Jakai Anderson from McDonough 35. We're going to talk about his about him flipping his commitment from LSU to SMU. I think y'all might be shocked by what I might say. We'll be right back here on the
Green
Hash
Law
Out Show.
Firm is a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, criminal law, successions, and family law. With over 25 years of experience, the Green Law Firm continues to provide efficient, competitive, and effective representation to clients throughout the state of Louisiana and all across the nation. Consultations are free. If you're looking for results, call the Green Law Firm at 504-328-3990. That's 504-328-3990, located at 931 West.
At Bayou AV Security, we are your one-stop shop for all your needs, whether it's enhancing your home entertainment system, securing your property, ensuring a seamless internet connection, or illuminating your outdoor spaces. We've got you covered. Bayou AV Security, where technology meets reliability. Call us today to experience the Bayou difference.
JFK Martial Arts offers a wide variety of martial arts programs for kids, teens, and adults as they empower lives through martial arts. Please give them a call at 985-266-0664 and don't forget to ask about their 1 week free special.
Hi, I'm Erica Randolph, head coach of the Hahnville Tigers boys basketball team.
And welcome back to the Hash It Out Show. I'm JB the Sports Guy. Got VK Jones alongside me. And it's George Pepper's birthday, everybody. I guess that's why he's not here. We haven't heard from George all day. It gets George out there partying. And I know what he's gonna tell. I know what he's gonna tell VK later on. I can't say it on here though, but it's all good though. Moving on. So McDonough 35 wide receiver Jakai Anderson, big time recruit, 4-star wide receiver, has verbally committed to LSU. All right, he did that. So, well, I think yesterday or Monday, Jakai Anderson flipped his commitment from LSU to SMU. And as you know, SMU is now in the ACC. And I think they lost to Clemson in the ACC championship, but still went to the playoffs. And I want to say lost to Penn State in the first round. I think Penn State. So,
Yes.
okay. So, right there in Dallas, SMU. So, our good friend G Sports on a podcast, I don't remember the name, and I'm mad I don't remember it. But he said this is a huge loss for LSU, losing Jakai. Well, you know what I say? It's a huge gain for SMU getting Jakai Anderson. Big gain for SMU. Have any of y'all seen Jakai Anderson play? Oh, man. That is a smooth wide receiver, man. Very good wide receiver. And look, I cannot sit here and tell you why he flipped. I don't know why. I can speculate, and I can continue to speculate. I can. And all my answers may be wrong. But I'm going to say this right quick. Let me start off. That LSU wide receiver depth chart is huge. It is huge. You hear me? So Jakai will be a senior when the new school year starts. So let's talk about who may be there when he's a freshman in college if he was going to LSU. So let's talk. Nick Anderson, who's a transfer wide receiver, and I think Nick's from Oklahoma, so he'll be there. Aaron Anderson still has a year after this upcoming season. because they only got him as a junior transfer. Destin Hill will be there. You got Colin Billiot, Teron Francis, Kyle Parker. You have Jelani Watkins. And not to mention VK. Not to mention, if I go to Rivals right now, the Rivals website, okay, I actually want to try to put this up for y'all so y'all can see this. There it is. All right. Jakai Anderson, as you see, is the number 9 ranked player in the state of Louisiana, but he's the 3rd ranked wide receiver. See right here, number 5. That is Mr. Jabari Mack from Destrehan. Where's he going? Oh, LSU. Yeah. Number 6. That is Mr. Kenny Darby from Airline. Where's he going? Oh, LSU. That's 2 wide receivers right there. Oh, wait. We got Tristan Keys, VK, from Mississippi. Where's he going? Speak, VK. Where you going?
LSU.
LSU. And then somewhere in Texas, there's another receiver named Booby Feaster, I think his name, Booby Feister. If I'm messing it up, I do apologize. He's originally from LSU. He went to LSU camp as an 8th grader, and LSU offered him on the spot. Oh, supposedly, VK, he's going to LSU. So you look at that with what they have, and then what's coming in. Maybe Jakai said, well, that's a lot of receivers. And I'm not saying Jakai is scared to compete, because I don't think so at all. I don't think so. But Jakai probably looking at it like, maybe let me reweigh my options. Maybe there's another school I can go to and play early. See, sometimes people, the grass ain't greener on the other side. But maybe there's grass greener somewhere else. I'm saying. I don't mind it. I think he's going to play early at SMU, if not as a true freshman, as a redshirt freshman or a true sophomore. I think he's going to play. And I think it's a good decision to look at other options and see what is your best option to play early. Jakai Anderson, in my opinion, you might not see Jakai Anderson play till his senior year at LSU. It's possible. I don't know. I could be wrong. I told you it's just speculation, y'all. It's just me assuming. I could be wrong. But I think it's a good flip, and I think he's going to play early at SMU. Just the wide receiver room at LSU is low. It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And when you look at it, you got right now 3 verbal commits. Jakai was a 4th one at one time. And maybe Booby from Texas coming in to be 5. It's not a bad decision, ladies and gentlemen. It's not a bad decision. If he would have flipped the Tulane, I said it's still a good decision because he might play early there. But LSU fans are mad. Oh man, it's like Trevon Reed and Thibodeau went to Auburn. Oh my goodness, he was public enemy number 1 at LSU. And Brock Berlin went to Florida. Oh, he was public enemy number 1 at LSU. You're leaving the state. Da, 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 da. Now, Jakai Anderson and some LSU fans are mad that he's leaving. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all because I want him to succeed and do well. He's a great wide receiver if you ever see him play. And to be out there this year to see Jakai Anderson play. But VK, pass it on to you. Your thoughts of Jakai Anderson flipping from LSU to SMU. SMU got a big time gain in this one, bro. Big time.
Yeah, especially when we finally get the official, so when everything's official, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, I really think that is a great move. That's a great move, man. I think it's a great move for Jakai, using his leverage, looking at opportunities for him to hit the field, to have a chance to play.
Yes.
And some people, and it's funny how people like, how you gonna leave LSU? Like, how you gonna leave? No, man, it ain't about that. It's about going hit the field. It's about getting a chance to play. A chance to play. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see anybody, like any athlete, Like even baseball players, if they know, oh, I want to go to this school, that school, everybody want to go here, but they realize, oh, they look at the depth chart, they look at, good lord, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna even hit the field, like, and all of a sudden another school, one or two more schools come up, and they offer you as much as that school, and then saying, hey, such and such is leaving out here, man. You could really play early. We need somebody to step in immediately. So I think SMU has been after Jakai for a little bit.
Oh, without
And
a
at the
doubt.
same time, you look at it as well, you know, Austin, you're right, great academic school. But then also SMU has been starting to really come up. I think SMU is starting to be back to what they was in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the stadium they playing in. And they're playing out there in the Metroplex in Dallas. I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to rise. Don't be surprised that SMU might get a couple games up in Jerry's world. You know what I'm saying? One or two games. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Getting back to what SMU was back in the 80s and stuff with the Pony Express. So, the transition that this program has really have made these last couple of years, they're in a great position, and I think Jakai, yeah, he's gonna he continue to work, especially coming up this year. Oh yeah, he's gonna be that guy up at SMU, and he's gonna handle this business. And you looked at it like the LSU fans, man, they need to chill out, dude. Man, the rich get richer up in there, dog. What y'all complaining about? We good. Don't worry about it. just stop. You know what I'm saying? I think some LSU fans just be so freaking delusional sometimes, man. It's like, come on, it's not that serious. It's really not that
It's serious to
serious,
them.
man.
It's serious to them. But look,
Yeah,
This is a great statement. This day and age, more options to play college sports overall. You just got to put your heart and soul into it and separate yourself. Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt.
absolutely.
But I mean, look, uh, Jakai going to SMU, man. I think it's a great fit. I think he's playing. He's gonna play early. I just don't
Yes.
think going to LSU he would play early. I think he would have been waiting quite some time, and that's just my opinion. Like I said, I'm
Ba-
assuming. Go ahead.
Basically being, and then I think what you're saying ain't just opinion, that's a fact.
Yeah.
We have seen too many athletes getting lost in the depth chart.
Right.
Being lost in the depth chart. Man, go get your opportunity somewhere else, man. If somebody willing to offer you the same scholarship and is willing to offer you a chance to play, and the coaches ain't stopping you, go hit the portal. Go hit it. You know what I'm saying? I know they're gonna have to make changes to the portal soon, but at the same time, go ahead and go get your opportunity. Go get what you're worth. And I think that's what Jakai is doing. He's going for what he's worth.
Hmm.
And that's big for a young man like that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. You know. With how it is today with the NIL and these high school players gotta commit early now, verbally commit early, which wasn't the case years ago, but now they got to do it. He committed to LSU early and still had a chance to reweigh his options and look at things, and he felt like it was best to flip to SMU. And I just think he has a better chance to play early at SMU. I think it's a great decision. And like I said, G Sports says a huge loss for LSU, but I say it's a huge gain for SMU, baby. Pony up,
Yes.
Pony Express,
On,
baby.
on the express. And then here's the thing about that too. Like they saying like LSU, like they keep on talking, man, LSU got all this money. And why is like no, here's the thing also, here's the thing you don't know, ladies and gentlemen. SMU donors and people out there, they money long, bro. Go look at Pony Excess. Trust me, they still got the donors out there in Dallas. I'm telling you now.
Okay,
I
heard
don't
it
think
from
I'm
VK,
like I'm
y'all.
like this. I'm like this. Their money. I'm telling the truth. LSU's money is all the way along, always. There's no doubt. But out there at SMU, out there in that Dallas area, oh yeah, bro, they got some money out there, buddy. Especially out there in Texas. I know. SMU is probably maybe what three on the depth, number three or number four on the depth chart in the state of Texas, but they are in the Metroplex. So trust me, they got some money out there at SMU, buddy.
All
That's
right,
just real
VK
talk.
saying they got some money out there, but Jakai Anderson, man, all the best to you, my brother. Hopefully, we get to see you during the football season. Hopefully, I get to see you again on 7-on-7, man. He caught a touchdown. It was at Hornville for 7-on-7. I don't know what school they were playing. I don't remember. It could have been Shaw. It could have been John Everett. It could have been Hornville. That was the four schools that were there. When he come to me and say, "Hey, you got that touchdown on film?" I said, "I think I do." So, but Jakai Anderson, a real good wide receiver, good person, man, and wish him all the best going forward to SMU. VK,
Yes,
let's
sir.
talk about some of the upcoming spring football games that are happening. They actually had one tonight that was um speaking of, hold on, because Devin did put it up here. I want to say something about it. LSU and SMU have agreed to a home and home series for 2028 and 2029. So
Mm.
Jakai will get to play at LSU. And he
Get a
may go
together.
off that game. He may go off that game, bro. You never know. You never know. You never know. All
That's
right.
right.
There's some upcoming spring football games. There was one tonight. It started at 7. That was let me get to it. Oh, Sophie B. Wright and Sarah T. Reed was tonight. That spring game was tonight at Pan American. Started at 7. Tomorrow, we got Carr at Destrehan, VK. I'm gonna start with them. Destrehan, um, Jabari Mack at wide receiver. Um, my boy back at quarterback. What's his name? Why it just went blank on me? His name. What's Destrehan quarterback name?
Jackson is first name. Ring a
Jackson
bell.
Fields, huh?
Jackson.
Jackson Fields?
Jackson Fields. Jackson
Jackson
Fields.
Fields, yeah. Jabari Mack and Jackson Fields are back. They're back offensively. Defensively, gotta see what Destrehan bringing back defensively. Gotta see about that. As far as Edna Carr, look, Aiden Hall playing a nickelback, Richard Anderson right there, D tackle, Hayward Howard. He committed to Texas, the cornerback, and then the best quarterback in the state, John Johnson. The thing with Carr, we know Carr reloads every year. We cannot say rebuild. They reload every year. They had to replace all their 3 receivers. Got to replace them all. Had to replace their running backs. So I won't beat at that one, but I would like to hear from people like, how did John do? How did Edna Carr look? And how did Destrehan look? Your thoughts about Edna Carr and Destrehan, and every scout in America gonna be at this spring game.
I'm very shocked that you're not going to that game.
I'm not
I
going to.
think that's. I'm very surprised
I want you to
because
go. I want you to go to it.
I wish I could, but my daughter is on. I got to keep her on schedule this week. You know what I'm saying? And, she got to go to what you call this, but you know what I'm saying. But regardless of the fact, you know, I would love to go, but I got other priorities. But for you, I'd rather you go to that than the other game you're going because it might be interesting, but I wouldn't be surprised. That might be the lowest scoring scrimmage of the whole god doggone spring games.
Oh,
You
hold
know what I'm
on.
saying? That's just
I
to be
want
honest.
your opinion on Edna Carr and Destrehan.
Not
That's what I want.
not okay. I'm saying I'll just say what I say, but I think it's gonna be a very good spring game and that these two always go at it every year.
Yeah.
Very good talent on both sides of the ball. And I think the real test we're gonna see tomorrow is how is this Destrehan offensive line? We see improvement. Do we see
Okay.
improvement? that's the biggest thing we'll see tomorrow, because we know how
Oh,
much
Malachi
that
Dabney, the
defensive
running
line
back.
cost.
Malachi Dabney, the running back
Malachi
now.
Dabney, that's right,
Yeah,
that's right. So
yep.
that O line, I think it was young last year, and they really got things going late in the year. If they return a good bit, it's going to be interesting to see as they go against Richard Anderson at that defense Carr. So it's going to be very testy on that one. And the O line for Carr, how good they're going to be, because they kind of lost a good bit up front.
Hmm.
So they're going to be severely tested tomorrow. So we'll definitely see about that, because we know what John Johnson can bring, and also that young wide receiver core of Carr. Like, what do they? What we're looking forward to look at? Especially with about 85% of the weapons gone. So
Look at that.
we'll see what John Johnson, what kind of weapons he'll have tomorrow.
My boy, lock him up 1K. That's my boy. Y'all don't know who that is. That's Bernard Carsey, great DB at John F. Kennedy. Now at Oh man, I don't want to mess this up, VK, because they the same colors. I want to say he had Georgia Southern, not Georgia State. If I messed it up,
Georgia
BB, if I messed it up, let me know, man, because I get them two mixed up. So Jackson
yeah,
Fields, Jackson Fields. Speaking of him, he hopped in on the Instagram part. I see him. I
awesome,
see him got a lot in
awesome.
there. So, all right, now the other game that you was kind of leading to, but I wanted you to stay with, you know,
I'm sorry.
you good. Shaw and John Eric. Let me tell you why I'm going to Shaw and John Eric. Let me tell you why. Okay, because I kind of know what Edna Carr and Desiree gonna bring. I get it. Shaw, defending state champs, just like Edna Carr, but Shaw whole offense is pretty much gone from last season. Like they're replacing everybody. So I want to see this Shaw offense in the spring. It ain't gonna be clicking like it was last year. It's gonna take a little time. The defense, majority players of the defense return. I want to see this defense. What I really want to see from Shaw defense is them being able to be a better defense at stopping the run. That's what I want to see. I don't know if we'll see it come tomorrow, but we'll see. John Everett's side, I want to see improvement on both sides of the ball. Totally. That's what I want to see. Coach Willie Brooks takes over, our good friend. I want to see improvement on both sides of the ball. Silas Rude is back at quarterback. He has a year under his belt. So I want to see improvement from John Everett. Like I said, John Everett should be in the playoffs every year. John Everett should not be missing playoffs, period. So I want to see improvement on both sides of the ball for John Everett. VK, your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting transition. Interesting transition, especially with the new head coach Willie Brooks, to try to bring back some fight, some pride, everything else, to try to get back to what John Eric used to be. Uh, Willie Brooks has won in every stop he's made. He's won in every stop he's made. So I think he's going to do a good job. It's going to be an interesting transition. He was an assistant the last couple of years, so that's been a help for John Eric. So I think the players are going to be very familiar with him, and we'll see how much intensity they can bring tomorrow, because I think they'll have a huge advantage, especially defensively. With
You
Shaw
think
have
John
to
Eric,
replace him.
John Eric, wait, John Eric can have a huge advantage defensively over Shaw?
I think so, because of the fact that
Well, I'm listening to this. I'm listening to this. Go ahead. Go
now
ahead. I'm listening.
I'm saying this because this is the first big test for a young Shaw squad. This is their first big
Majority of
test.
the
Any
defense is back. Majority of Shaw's defense is back. It's the offense that they lost.
no no
Majority of
no
Shaw's defense is back.
no I'm saying a huge advantage defensively for Eric. Did I
Oh, okay.
say
I got you. My fault. Okay, I got you. I apologize.
right?
Go ahead, sir.
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I mixed it up, but yeah, I think Eric will have a huge advantage defensively in that one, because I tell you,
Okay.
because this Shaw offense has really gonna have to buckle up and do what they have to do. Now, if they come out swaying and coming out fighting from the jump. That's going to be a huge sign for Archbishop Shaw. That's going to be a huge sign going forward. Because we know defensively they're going to be pretty stout, and I think this Shaw's defense is probably going to carry them the majority of the season.
It's
Because
gonna have to. It's gonna have to.
it seemed like the last couple of years with Shaw, it's always a certain unit, certain player used to carry things, and then everything comes together late in the year.
Hmm.
And this time it is the defense now. It's the defense's turn that has to carry Archbishop Shaw. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow with this scrimmage. And it doesn't matter who wins this it doesn't matter who wins the spring game. I think it's going to be a good showing for both teams. You know, and we'll just see, because the thing is, it's just new coaching, new head coach at Eric, seeing what kind of schemes they have, seeing what they can do, and for Shaw as a transition, knowing that they lost a good bit of weaponry. So now it's
Yeah.
like, okay, what you're gonna do? Let's see what kind of you're gonna go against a very good opponent. Let's see what you do. Let's see what you do under pressure. So it's gonna be an interesting thing to see tomorrow between these two West Bank rivals. What time it starts? It probably starts at 5,
Six.
huh?
Six.
6?
They at 6. That's
6.
Rand Carr at 6.
I
Yeah,
might
yeah.
come
Go to
by.
that. Go to that card game, man. Go to that card game, bro. Go ahead.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
go
I
ahead. I'm
forgot.
telling you to go. I'm telling you to go to
I
card
forgot.
game.
I wish I could, but I forgot this. My mom has to go somewhere on Wednesday nights, so I got to be home with with the kids. So we'll see.
All right. Let's move along. Um, I want to talk about this one right quick. Carver and Landry, two teams
Mm.
trying to get back into the playoffs. Got Coach Nick. What's Coach Nick's last name, man? What I forgot. What?
Foster,
Foster.
well,
Gosh,
your age kicking in, boy.
yeah, it's showing tonight, bro. You darn right. Nick Foster, and we got Coach Fig at Carver.
Figure, yeah.
These two guys trying to rebuild these programs, and I'm really intrigued in this spring game between these two teams, because I think both these guys are trying to rebuild it, like I said, and this is a perfect matchup for both of them to play each other and see where your teams are in the spring going into the summer. So I'm very intrigued in that matchup with Coach Fig and Coach Foster having their two teams play each other. VK.
I I agree. I think that this might be the most hard hitting scrimmage, the most hard hitting spring game we're gonna have all through the week, because I think these two teams transitioning into a second year with these two coaches, and they're trying to really get this program more of a level to get back to postseason. And both of these teams are really tough. So I'm not gonna be surprised. This might be the most intense and hard hitting game you're gonna have all week long. I think Coach Fig and Coach Foster is gonna have these two teams ready to roll, and the officials, they better be ready to get it, ready to do what they got to do, keep control of the game. Because, like I said,
Yeah,
I think these two, they're gonna really go at it.
definitely. Brian Turner says he believes LSU has the best roster in the NCAA. I'm not going to disagree with you. And the transfer portal, they got some of the best players, so they really hit the portal hard. Brian Turner also says Carver has always been a program with a lot of potential. Yeah, always has
Mm,
been. Yes, even when
agree.
going back to Marshall Falk, and then Chiron Carey was the head coach, and now Coach Fig trying to bring it back. So yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, you got to
VK,
go all the way.
go ahead.
Oh, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
You can't forget about the legendary Rain Reese, Jack Phillips with
Uh-huh.
that program and for the transition, and then also the consistency of Coach the one that not too long left the program. Now I'm getting old. Uh, who's the head coach at Carver before all the transition and stuff that happened and stuff
Addison?
like that? Yes, Byron
Byron
Addison.
Addison?
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I mean, he did an unbelievable job despite everything else that happened in his last year. I mean, he transitioned from a lot of programs, and he really got that Carver program in a consistent mold more than anything else. And now they transition to Coach Fig, and we'll see in year two that it could be maybe better for them this year. But that's a very consistent. Back in the day, from the '80s, from the to late '70s to the '80s to now, Carver
Yeah.
always been a tough, hard hitting program.
Thursday, um, I'm gonna be at Pan Am Thursday for 5 o'clock. Holy Cross and Kennedy. So, Holy Cross, the year they had is Coach Watney's first year, getting to the quarterfinals, and I believe they were the one seed that. I believe they were the one seed that year.
Yes,
Get to the
first year, yes.
yeah, first year they were the one seed. Last year, a little bit of a dip. So I kind of want to see where they are in his third year in the spring. But I also want to see on Kennedy's side now. And now look, Coach L. Fates has talent for days. We know this. I kind of want to see what life is like after you lose Amani, you lose Good Time J.J. Evans, and you lose Kingston James. That's your quarterback and your two
Jones.
wide receivers. I kind of want to see who's now stepping up in those roles and how they look in the spring. That's what intrigues me the most, VK.
Kingston Jones. Kingston Jones, bro.
Kingston Jones, my bad. Kingston at UTSA.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see with this transition here. I'm really curious. I really think that this could be a much better year for Coach Watney and Holy Cross. I really think this is gonna be a better year for them. They were very inexperienced last year, but now they're returning a good bit of veterans back. So I'm curious to see what he has. And yeah, I'm curious to see the transition of with Kennedy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a couple years ago when they won their first playoff game, and you had Chris Williams and company, who really had a nice breakout year, and all of a sudden they had a good bit of seniors that left off, and that was Amani's first year quarterback and everything else, and that was a team that was a little bit of a struggle early, and then all of a sudden they caught fire,
Yeah,
and they made that run to the quarterfinals, and you see the transition from that year to the next, and Kennedy was better than they ever been. So, so we're curious. I'm curious to see how young they is. Maybe I might join you. I might join you. We'll talk about it. I might join you on Thursday, possibly. You know what I'm saying? I might join you. If everything is good, I might join you. So I'm gonna see about that. But I'm really curious to see both teams. I'm not surprised you was going to that scrimmage. I was not surprised. I said I had a
of
feeling
course
that you
not.
might be going.
Hey, Brian Turner, that is one of the greatest teams ever. I mean, they up there, man. They up there. Um, some people say that 1992 Hornville team is still the greatest team ever. I'm like, oh no, man. I got a bunch of teams. I think I could beat that team. But anyway, yes, this Car
The gr-
team is one of the greatest. Yes, it is.
I
VK.
I think I really think the 20. I think last year's car team, I said that is slightly better than the 2014 team. The Hanville team was really good. I really thought that 2014 car team maybe one of the best I've ever seen because of how good that team was, especially the year before. That transition, like from Alden Clark's junior year to senior year, knowing he had all those people back, and they just skull drug everybody, especially their district, who had wound up having three teams out the district making the semifinals. So that's how good that car team was. And is I think is it I, the Hanville team was great, but I think that 2014 team was definitely better than that team. It was just I just seen a whole. It was just amazing what I seen in that 2014 team. And some people was like, I said that's the best car team I ever seen. It's like better than the '93. I said 10 times better than the '93 because I'm
I
like I
don't
ain't
know.
never seen anything like this with dominance like they did, especially against good teams. You know,
This
and it
20
had to take
this
them alert, and
2014
had
is
to take
something
a
else
third.
though, bro.
Yeah, it had to take a late third quarter against Neville to really turn it up and to put them away.
It
So
happens.
it happens, man. That was a tough team, and they still have some great teams. You know what I'm saying? They just stand out, but they still had some other good teams. Salmon had some good teams. Curtis had some. The year Curtis won the national title, that was an unbelievable
Hey,
freaking team.
I still say that Joe McKnight team that finished second in the nation better than that Curtis team that won the national championship. Joe McKnight, Tank English.
I'm gonna say it wasn't what with that one. I'm gonna say it wasn't what that team was that good. That Joe McKnight team was that good. They were that good. They were. I can't even say which team was better because they were both really that good. That national championship team, it was just a all out there was maybe a great all around team I've seen from John Curtis, but that team was as good as that.
Brian, I think you need to flip it because I think you mean 99 Evangel and 2000 West Monroe because 2000 West Monroe won the national championship and 99 Evangel won the national championship. 2000 West Monroe beat
Two-
Shaw in the state championship that year. 2000. Yeah.
2000,
2000
2000
West
West
Monroe.
Monroe.
Yeah,
Lord
35 to
Jesus.
7. 35 to 7.
Was it that year y'all beat Eric
That was the year we beat Eric. Yep.
and they won national day? Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
West
the
Monroe
year when
beat
they
St.
beat St.
Aug.
Aug. And they beat
Yep.
St. Aug 17. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That was a unbelievable West Monroe team. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I could just and I could say in that game more than anything else, like they outplayed St. Aug. They wanted it more. They outplayed them. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, man. Like Michael Franklin, 2 runs and he gets put down. I'm like, what's really going on? So, but that was an awesome team.
I'm gonna talk about one more spring game, then I'm gonna list them all for our fans. Friday, Jesuit at Hornville for 5:30. Um, Jesuit got a couple good players on their team. They got a good edge rusher. Um, a lot of people are talking about. He was a lot of scouts looking at. A lot of and colleges want. Got a good offensive lineman at Jesuit. Hornville. When I went there last year for this game, I was very impressed with Hornville, and I told everybody, "Yo, Hornville, Hornville back." Well, Hornville lost a bunch of seniors. They're gonna be a little bit younger, but Coach Boyne says they're gonna be better. So this is Friday at 5:30. I'm very intrigued to see what Hornville looks like, especially with Calvin Smith gone and Jacob. Can't think of Jacob's last name. He was their starting free safety last year. He's gone. And then to see what Jesuit has with Coach Manali and his team, VK.
It's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna be another great spring game. I think Jesuit, they're transitioning to be a really good team. I think this is one of those teams that could be a possibility that could compete for the district championship this year. This is how good Jesuit was. Then you have to think Jesuit lost. They lost some of their games, but won some in the district game. And you have to think about it. In every game they lost in district, they only lost by an average of 6 to 10 points.
Right.
That's how close those games were. And Coach McNally really had a good competitive team.
He
So,
did.
and the thing about it, they didn't lose too many seniors. So this is a good Jesuit team that a lot of teams are gonna have to look out for. This Jesuit team could make a lot of noise possibly in the academy. Now for Hanville, I think Hanville is making that. I think this is going to be a big rise for them this year. I think, yeah, they lost some key players,
Yeah.
but they return a good bit too. And you look at the depth that they had last season. I'm like this. I'm curious to see Hanville myself because this could be a big year for Hanville because you seen a lot of their depth last year and the youngsters they got that's
Mm-hmm.
coming.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, especially at the quarterback spot. Man, they're going to be a good good team, and it's gonna be an interesting test against Jesuit. If they do well against Jesuit, I'm like, look out coming up in the fall.
All right. Let me go down this list for y'all so y'all can know. So on tomorrow, Carr at Destrehan at 6. Riverdale versus McMain at Joe Yenny, 4:45. Warren Easton at Covington, 5:30. Shaw versus Everett at Hoss Memsaw, 6 o'clock. Carver versus Landry at Pan American, 6 p.m. On Thursday, Holy Cross versus Kennedy at Pan American, 5 o'clock. Patrick Taylor versus Ben Franklin at Hoss Memsaw, 5 o'clock. Live Oak at Salmon, 6 o'clock. Kentwood at West St. John, 6 o'clock. Friday, De La Salle at North Shore, 4 o'clock. Jesuit at Hornville, 5:30. Bonneville versus East St. John at Joe Yenny, 5:30. St. Augustine versus Madison Prep at Broadmoor High School, 6 o'clock. John Curtis versus Slidell versus Picayune, 3 teams at Picayune in Mississippi at 6 o'clock. And then we go to next week, May 19th, Tuesday, McDonough 35 at Terrebonne, 6 o'clock. And May 21st, Wednesday, Douglas at St. James, to be announced the time, and Young Audiences at Willow. So those are the spring games. Austin Tyler, I'm gonna put this up. JB, if you had to put a all-time Shaw team together, and VK had to put an all-time St. Aug team together at every position, how long would it take you? I'm gonna be honest with you. The skill positions, quarterback, running backs, wide receivers, cornerbacks, and safeties, I can get that done. It'll take a while for the O line and the D line. So it'll take a while for the D line and O line. I'll tell you that. I know who I have at safety. I know who I have at free safety for sure. And this
Mhm.
their last All American at free safety. I have him there. I'll tell you that. Um, as I think about it, the question is where to put Tyrone Carey? Like, this is the greatest Shaw player ever. And they be like, yeah, man, Tyrone the best running back ever at Shaw. I'm like, Tyrone never even started at running back at Shaw. His sophomore year, he played a little bit, but he's a backup. And then he started at quarterback junior senior year. So where you put Tyrone at, man? I'll be crazy not to have Tyrone on that team. I'll be crazy not to have Tyrone. Not on that team, but trust me, Tyrone would be on that team without a doubt. Either quarterback or running back. I'm gonna have him on there. And then Mickey Jones. decisions, boy. Golly, my
And Mickey
God.
Joseph has a training camp coming up soon here in the
Yeah,
city. I don't know
he
if
got
you
a
heard
camp.
about that.
Yeah, he does have a camp coming up. So,
Yeah.
well, and then I guess George Peppers could put up his John Everett team. So I
I
guess
think
that's
it'll
them.
take a while. I
Huh?
think it's gonna take a while for me to get to St. Aug one myself. You know what I'm saying? Just to get, you know, I have an idea of the offensive lines, maybe a little bit of the defensive line, the linebackers, but it's so much to just try to decide which which running back to go with, because I think there's plenty of running backs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like, do you really put Leonard Fournette as your number one guy? Possibly, yeah, but you put in another back, or two back set, or three back
Hey,
set.
it also
You know what I'm
depends
saying?
what kind of offense you gonna run.
Exactly.
It does depend on
Kind
that.
of offense, right? And then you look at the wide receivers, because it might not be that hard. Quarterback part, quarterback might not be too hard. You know what I'm saying? Might not be too hard. It just really varies of what you want. To be honest with you, there's only two quarterbacks I would think of in this type of scenario that would be in that spot and an all time St. Aug team. That's between Brantley Williams and John Dixon. And I'm sorry, Darren Dixon.
Okay.
Darren Dixon, Brantley Williams. There's
I'll
your two
say.
quarterbacks for St. Aug.
I,
That'll be the only two. There are plenty other quarterbacks I would think of, but those two just really, really stands out of a lot of the quarterbacks that have played at St. Aug.
I'll say this. I know who I would have on the defensive line automatically. I know one player. That's Pat Riley. Pat Riley.
Hmm,
Definitely Pat Riley on the D line. Starting.
absolutely.
Without a doubt. I think Cameron
Absolutely.
Vaughn might be one of my linebackers.
I know what to be obvious on the defensive line on and I would name probably it'd be tough, but I would name probably two off the riff, just to be honest.
All right, hold on.
One is Jake. Go ahead.
8 reasons. He says, what about South Plaquemines? Coach Loud Feet never sent me nothing about South Plaquemines. You know, now, y'all know how much love we give South Plaquemines. We give them all the love. We know that. Everybody know that. Coach Loud Feet has my shirt still. I ain't got my shirt yet. But I asked him about the spring game. He never got back with me.
Hmm.
I'm going to text that fool. Oh, sorry, Coach. I didn't mean to call you fool.
Big shout out to the state champion like
Yeah, but yeah, I look. I guess I'll sit down when I got a little free time. I'm a little busy right now and a lot of stuff going on. If I get a little free time, I'll write, and we'll go from there. You know,
well,
Terrell Harris, wide receiver, maybe, or Ronald
I
Bellamy.
I I would say defensive line off the two I would think off the top would be Jason Wiltz, Raynosh Thompson.
You ain't putting Jakeem Stewart.
I'm like this.
He ain't play long enough. He didn't play long enough. Is that what you gonna say?
I'm like this. I love what Jakeem did, but at the same time, he's a dominator. But he reminds me so much of Jason Wiltz.
Okay.
Jason Wiltz. All I'm gonna tell you, one of the guys that you can say is unblockable between him and Johnny Mitchell. Those were the two biggest D linemen besides Thanos that I've ever seen that can just straight destroy everything. So Jason Wiltz off the top on the D line, DN, Raynosh Thompson.
Okay.
That's just off the top.
Brian Turner. I'm gonna say this. When it gets close to football season and we're deciding who wins the district championships, especially in that category league, you might be surprised in who we think is going to come down to. Just saying, my opinion. But that's later down the line, right before the season starts, when we start talking about who may win the district. But yeah, I think Coach Valdez has St. Augustine on the right track. I really do. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for tonight. We're not gonna be here tomorrow. We're going to some spring games. Well, I'm going to spring game. VK, he can't go to Carr. So we'll be back. We'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we may be back next Thursday, special day, because I don't know about Tuesday and Wednesday. We'll see, but maybe next Thursday. But if we are back next Tuesday, I'll let you all know right here. But other than that, VK, you got any last words?
Oh man, good to be on the show, man. I hope y'all people come to the spring game, support these kids, don't get into any trouble, be safe. Huge weekend in college baseball. We'd like to thank Olen Parker on the show and everything. We be in Hammond on the weekend, you know what I'm saying? Possibility on that
I
one.
might.
Because
We'll see. I am a
Southeast
question mark right now. I might. We'll see.
Southeastern Louisiana hosted region play in the Southland Conference tournament. They're the 1 seed. as all the Louisiana teams is in that one side of the bracket, as the Texas teams is in Rio Grande Valley, the number 2 seed. So Texas and Louisiana, so it will be, you know, because if Southeastern wins the region play over the weekend, they will host the region championship series next week. So that's pretty much a big situation. As all the Louisiana teams, as UNO will take on Southeastern on Thursday, and McNeese will take on Northwestern State on Thursday. So that's going to be a huge weekend in there. And last weekend in college baseball before we get in officially to the tournament time, and also state championships this weekend in baseball as well. We wish all the teams the best of luck out there this weekend. The Brother Martin Crusaders taking on the Catholic High Bears. That is going to be a hell of a matchup. But, man, I hope you guys have a great overall weekend. Enjoy the sports weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? NBA playoffs. We'll talk about more of that next week, man. But great show.
Definitely. So thank you to Coach Olen Parker for joining us. And happy birthday, George Peppers. Happy birthday, George Peppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Get ready for that sheet.
Shut up.
Ready for that slip.
For VK Jones, I am JB the Sports Guy. Y'all be back with us next week, all right? Tell your mama, tell your daddy, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell your cousins, tell your nieces, tell your nephews, your uncles, and your aunties to join us right here on the Hash It Out Show. Y'all take care.
Feeling drained from the constant noise in your daily life? Immerse yourself in pure audio bliss with drums. Experience a world of crystal clear sound, free from distractions. Discover the ultimate relaxation and escape into an oasis of serenity. Grab yours today. drumsworld.com.
If you're looking for the best pizza in Metro New Orleans, then you're in the right place. Moe's Pizza has a great selection of Italian food that can satisfy your appetite, and they can also cater to your needs in any event. Give them a call at 504-341-9650 or log on to www.moespizzanola.com, located at 1112 Avenue H in West Wego, Louisiana. Moe's Pizza, Italians do it better.
I'm Coach Ramirez Elpage, the head football coach at John F. Kennedy